Hello everyone. Welcome to the YouTube Model Builders Thursday night general hangout. Thursday's hangouts are for the general discussion on model railroading that we all can set a topic to discuss for the night. Thursday's hangouts are the proud sponsor of the Tuesday night presentations, the YouTube Model Builders, eMag, and the YouTube Model Builders live show. I want to say thanks for everybody joining in tonight's show. And here's your host for the night, Johnny Reb of Southeast Rails. Hello everybody. Welcome to the YouTube Model Builders Thursday night live show. I'm having camera problems, so you won't be seeing me tonight. I can't get the camera to work past 3 nights on any of the shows, so thank you, Google. Works everywhere else, but not here. Anyhow, welcome to the show with somewhat controlled chaos. Got an announcement to make. Don't know who all saw Phil's post, but Jim in Michigan, aka Jim Ross, he passed away this afternoon about 4:45. He'll certainly be missed, but the biggest thing he wanted to do was go see his mom, son, and stepsister, so good they got to do that. We'll definitely miss him around here for sure. But so I think I'll just dedicate this Thursday night show to Jim in Michigan. So this is his show. He liked the Thursday night shows. Yeah. Hopefully nobody will take it wrongly, but yeah, he did like the Thursday shows, and he passed away on a Thursday, so but I'm sure he'll be watching over us. Like some people have said, he made his last stop today. But anyhow, hi Josh, you've been biting at the bit because you want to make an announcement. So
mine is not so important. And Jim passed away. Really gonna miss him. Also, always threatening frozen oranges at me. And grapes and all watermelons and that. Though Memorial Day. If you're in Ohio and you live or close, if you come out to Canfield, we start at 10 in the morning. We have our parade and different stuff, and our open house, our Mount Railroad Club. We're in the basement of the War Vet Museum. If you guys come out, celebrate Memorial Day with us, with the parade, the dedication of flags, and going through the museum and our Mount Railroad Club. So that Monday, at 10 in the morning. It would be nice if everybody comes out. That's pretty much it. Back to John.
well, you know ON 30 Dave, don't you, Josh? Yo, Josh.
What?
You know ON 30 Dave? Dave Lemke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he said forget the oranges and watermelons. He's got frozen chicken for you.
I got a bunch of chickens outside. I'm good with the chickens outside, not the frozen chickens.
Yeah.
So, if you want me to show, and that's done. If you want me to show you progress on the layout, I can. and we're already up. I'm already here.
You gonna do what?
If you want me to, I can show a little bit of progress that's been happening on the physical on top of the layout right now. That if you're already presenting me,
Can you do that in 5 minutes?
yeah.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
Okay. I got some slabs of lead from a guy that was getting out of the hobby, and I've been wondering what I'm going to do to make. I just had a full-size railroad spike laying on the flat carts for temporarily, and they didn't look good. They didn't look like prototype. So I got this piece of slab of lead. I wore gloves, and I painted this. I wore gloves when I put it on. Nobody got lead poisoning. Even my friend Gavin was working on it. So, here's a slab of lead, and we painted it up, and we put it on there. Different slabs, different cars back there. The other thing that's been going on, other than installing switches, you can see the yard track is out right now, and we're installing tortoises. So we are also installing uncoupling magnets back here because it's so far a reach. And there's going to be a couple different locations that'll have uncoupling magnets, including Conway, Jacob Cole, and Newcastle Steel. So everything else is switched by hand so far. So there's the magnet right there. And there's a slab of lead.
I made a really big mistake putting the Hangout on my HD monitor today.
Yeah, why he's moving that camera around.
I'm going to have to go look for the drama beat. I'll be back.
Oh, that ain't no lie. We still love you.
All right, he's putting it back where it'll be still.
Yeah, that was all.
I'm just messing with you, Josh.
No, I was done actually. That was how much progress I got done this week. I've been doing more rail painting than modeling somewhat.
I wish I had time to go do some rail fanning. I missed it. It's been a lot of years, but I really used to love that. I want to second you on a couple things you had said, Johnny. I definitely want to second you on your thank you to Google because your camera's broke. Big thank you to Google there.
Yeah. I'll get you.
And we sure are going to miss Jimmy.
Yeah. I think everybody here will.
No, Jim, all you got to work is pray for now that Google stuffs up Andy's microphone.
They do from time to time, just not with enough consistency for you. The problem with Google and me is that I'm an IT guy too, so we go to a little war. If Google really wanted to win, they could win at like pretty much everything. But I put up a good fight.
Yeah. I can't figure it out. Camera works on everything else, but other
What about your
software
settings?
Huh?
In your settings in control panel, is it active in there? Or camera, mic?
Well, it's got to be because it works in all my other softwares.
What happens is the Google does it one of two ways. So if you have a third-party browser, which right now Firefox broke, but if you're using Internet Explorer or Safari, or it used to be Firefox and will be Firefox again, sometime, they use a plugin that deals with your audio-video integration. But Chrome has that built into it. But it's still, there's a component in there that deals with that audio-to-video translation layer. That's the part that breaks for like pretty much everybody.
Yeah, because I'm on Chrome. That's the only thing I can use to get in the Hangouts. So,
yeah,
evidently they broke it again.
Yeah, I tried to use Chrome. I just can't. I'm in Safari, and I'm happier doing that than I like Firefox, but can't use it right now. Hopefully that'll come back to us.
Yeah, according somebody was telling me June 26th, Firefox is supposed to be bringing Hangouts back.
And there's a way to do it now. You can just go back and get a previous version of it, which are available on their website, and turn off the auto update feature. So you could do it now, but it's not worth it for me to go to that trouble. I mean, if I was having trouble with Safari, that's what I would do.
Probably since Firefox went down, I've been forced to use Google Chrome. My video quality on the Hangout has dropped by about 40–50%. Everything's sort of like a pastel type of.
Yeah, I don't like the Chrome browser very much. I try to like it. There are things about it that I like, but it's got a lot of issues, and especially if you do. I do a lot of research, so I have a lot of tabs open doing research, working through things, and Chrome really suffers when you do that.
Major.
But because what happens is Chrome did something really unique at the time. They got a lot of praise for it, where each tab is a separate process. So if one tab crashes, it doesn't crash your whole browser the way Firefox and Internet Explorer and other things used to do more prevalently. One web page could take your whole browser down. Well, Chrome got around that by making each tab a process. The problem is it destroys RAM on computers, and every computer I have has quite a bit of RAM or reasonably powerful computers, and Chrome can still take them to their knees, but it's not uncommon for me to have 70, 80, 90 tabs open.
How you doing, Bob?
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
no,
Once I refreshed the whole Google Plus interface, I could find the link because it wouldn't refresh. Pissed me off.
Yeah,
I'm going, where is
That's
this
what
thing?
probably you need to do, Jimmy. Or Johnny.
Do
I
what?
had to close the
You might
whole.
need to refresh.
I did.
I had to close my tab for Google Plus and reopen it, and then the link would show up. I was sitting there refreshing, going back and in and out of the communities. Didn't care. I'm
Yeah, a
like,
lot of times I have to hit the reload button at the top to get it to
yeah.
cycle. Now you could leave your browser setting on Facebook or something, and it'll just sit there and update. Things will happen. But Google, in their infinite wisdom, cannot make that work.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not putting any effort into G Plus. That's the sad thing. G Plus is a great platform. But Google, in their infinite wisdom, won't. They just won't put effort into.
To anything.
Yeah, you got my.
They'll put effort. They'll put a lot of effort into search.
Yeah.
I mean, that's breadwinner right there. So, I mean, they'll put a lot of money into that. But all these other side projects, they just kind of get excited about, but they don't bring them to fruition. And you can love or hate Apple, but you have to admit that even if you don't like them, what they do to a refined precision, or they don't do it at all. They're not interested in it. If they're not interested in it, they don't touch it. If they are interested in it, they take it to the nth degree.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of my tendency. So it's Apple and me are a perfect consort with each other.
Did you get my text, Bob?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a sad day today.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But anyhow, maybe one of these days they'll fix it. The camera will come back on.
Well, yeah, as soon as it goes off air.
You might need to try another browser of some kind. Try Internet Explorer, which is awful, and I can't believe I'm recommending someone use Internet Explorer.
Ain't no way.
I understand. I agree with you. That's horrible. Or try Opera. That's not a horrible browser. I don't love it, but it's not a bad browser.
Yeah. Well, delete
we have
it
to
all
use
out.
Internet Explorer at work.
Yeah, I'll just delete it all out and see what happens.
Clean your cookies and everything.
Yeah, because actually, it's a Logitech camera, but for whatever reason, a while back, it added a string of numbers to the end of it.
Well, that ain't good.
That's the Windows update makes them do that. Mine shows up as like Logitech _D whatever. It's got a series of numbers after it.
Yeah, this thing, of course, it's going to show up here. Yeah, it shows that it was in parentheses. I can't read it all, but it says 046D semicolon 0.
Yeah, it's the hardware address of the device. There's a Windows update that I don't get that on mine because I'm on an Apple, but on the Windows machines that I mess with, they are doing that now for devices that have duplicates.
Because I
We
know I
don't,
got.
we don't want it, they do it.
Wasn't Emacs supposed to come out today?
Yeah, Dave's over here in the chat, ON30, trying to send a bunch of snow over to Phil in Michigan, and Phil said they're going to celebrate his mother's 75th birthday outside, I guess, this weekend.
Yeah, put me out that California got snow like they did.
Yeah.
When did they get snow?
Colorado, or
Sierras.
Colorado Springs, California, which is way up in the mountains, up towards Washington,
Yeah.
up that way. They woke up to a very nasty snowstorm. I've seen
Like
it on the
recently?
news.
Like in
Yeah.
May?
Yeah, just a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday or today.
Yeah, because the north part of the United States around the Great Lakes is supposed to get snow in the next day or two. For what they're forecasting.
I seen that and I thought, wait a minute here. California don't get snow.
No, that's not
in the
real.
mountains.
That's not really there. This whole climate change thing, that's not happening. So that snow's not really there.
Now, it's just everybody in that area shook their head all at the same time, and they called dandruff snow.
That'd be unbelievable.
Wasn't the Emacs supposed to come out today?
No.
This week?
It'll be out in a few days. It comes out the middle of the month. So, but there's a lot of flexibility in when it has to come out because it's a lot. JD puts a lot of doggone work into getting it done.
I thought it was supposed to come out in June.
June, I thought it was, yeah.
It's middle of May. If it isn't, and he had to be that much over my article being late, then I could get really upset.
I was waiting for that.
Yep, I knew your article's late though. Andy, what are you working on?
Right now, nothing. Getting a tan under all. I don't know, nothing really.
Okay, what is that? Where you have another module down? Was there a module even up there in that spot?
Yeah, this piece hanging up here, that's that one goes there, but I figured out my stay. I moved my desk around. I'm on the other side of the room now. I was in my own way. I do that. I was in my own way of getting that section done. But that doesn't tie together. There's a height difference. So this one goes up over top of this one. It makes the peninsula.
How you doing, Dave?
What's up, Dave?
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep. What's happening, Dave?
All right, hey. Now, this was Salt Lake. Let's see if I can get it. There it is. This is a buddy of mine at Salt Lake City from yesterday. That's what he woke up to. 3 inches of snow.
You got
See,
the
that's
phone
wild.
upside down.
Oh, okay. Now I know what I'm doing. I couldn't figure it out before. I thought we were looking up like to a grate in the street from the basement. I was trying to figure it out.
That's why I said, beware. Southeast Michigan is supposed to get 2 to 4.
I thought you were showing us a picture of Australia.
That's
Hey.
where Andrew's at.
How you doing, Ralph?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
Hey, buddy.
We barely can hear you.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over my mic.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. I couldn't understand what you said. So.
Yeah, we'll just take your word for it, Ralph.
Is that any better?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Not better.
There you go. I said I was going to switch over my mic.
And you
works.
did.
I heard it.
I heard it. And I tried to explain it to you, but my mic was muted.
And I just did it.
So, Hillbilly, why do you have a green background for a green screen?
That's blue.
What's green on this camera?
Okay, Phil.
Same color as your t-shirt.
No, it looks green.
Looks the same as your t-shirt.
It's just the lighting in here.
And definitely green.
Yeah, it looks green.
It saves me
Just
from
as
doing
green as Robert's.
Saves me from doing all the trains.
And your cup of cup.
Brief and stuff.
Yeah.
What type of lighting do you have right now?
They're just those LED
Incandescent?
light bulbs.
Ooh.
That's white.
So make it yellow.
Yeah,
Right.
it looks green.
But I got LED strips to go underneath, up underneath here. The medium white, blue, and a
Daylight.
I didn't go with the bright white because that bright white was,
You got to turn those down quite a bit.
yeah, so I just went with the two colors for night runs and daylight. Okay, you ain't gonna stay?
For night runs, you just want to make sure you stay near the bathroom.
Well, that's just on the other side of that wall right there. See, technically, I won't go there. I forgot this is a live show and there's children in the audience.
Is there?
Go to school, be good, don't do drugs.
Yeah, we got two of them here on the panel.
Yeah, me. I haven't grown up yet.
Scott and Josh.
Well, I tell you what, that was the best thing my buddy ever made me.
Where's
A
that?
block of steel.
These are shear pins for a 777. Okay, these are actually 2 feet long. This little section right here probably weighs about 1.5 pounds. And well, you see it's as long as my finger. You imagine what 2 pounds of this is. And one end of it was bent. No. He cut them up for me and he says, here, I got something for you. I said, what? He gave them, what the heck am I going to use them for? Dude, I tell you what, they lay perfect on a railroad track for weight. You don't need that. No more Campbell soups.
Yeah, well, it's going to be funny when you forget and leave one on the track, and here comes the train.
No, that's what I
Probably
got.
a heck of a bumper.
Just turn the power on, it'll short it out.
Oh yeah. Cook it. No, that's what I got my what is that thing called?
PR3s, whatever.
PM42s or whatever they're called. They're all over there somewhere.
Are you using that Alaine's glue to stick that stuff down with?
Just using that tacky glue.
Yeah, Alaine's. I love Alaine's.
Cause
Don't tell your wife that, Andy.
Yeah, she laughed, so I could say I love Alaine right now.
yeah, I'm just more or less getting it to stay in one place where I can do my goop.
What is that? Oh.
This this is wild. Remember when Jim was doing his mountain and he was trying all that different stuff and his concoction that he made up with the Elmer's glue and all that? I could not think of what the main ingredients was to add to the glue and everything. And so I got online and this stuff, it's called True Scenery
Oh, fusion fiber. That's different though.
Fusion fiber.
I use
But
Theory Goop too, like Jim does, but fusion fiber is another product that I've always been interested in trying.
well, I'll tell you what. I put 1 cup of water. Well, not actually 1 cup, because you mix your paint with your water, and then you add a cup of this to the mixture. So I had like maybe half a cup of water to however dark you want it. Mix it up, and then put the fusion fiber in it. Let it set for about 10 minutes, and it gets a like a gluey, Elmer gluey feel to it. But when it dries, it's, I don't know if I can reach my camera that far. I'm on a short leash.
Me too.
It turns into this. I mean, I can plant trees in that and everything because I'm using styrofoam below it. But you just add your rocks.
With the cedary goop, I have to put a reasonably thick coat over it, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so.
This is real thin, as you can see right here.
Yep, I see. See, I can't hardly make mine that thin, or it peels up. So
That's that's what I was worried about. Was that, like you said, going to stick, trees in it or something like that, and you miss, and you want to pull it and move it, peeling this up. But with that glue, it
hardens up.
Yeah, it adheres to it. And these little white spots you see, those are those plaster rocks.
yeah, I don't use the glue in my scenery goop like Jimmy liked to use in his. That was something me and him always talked about repeatedly. I like mine to stay slightly rubbery,
right?
Like the latex paint does without the glue in it, because I don't know, it's just easier to work with for me.
But I just broke up a bunch of these.
Yep.
And put them in. I still got to paint them and everything, because I'm letting everything. What did Miles say? Let everything set for at least 3 weeks before you add any color to it, because everything can get the water out of it, more or less.
Let it cure out.
Cure out. Thank you. Give the man a cigar. But yeah, I was really impressed on this fusion fiber. It don't take that much to cover anything. Like I said, I'm gonna stack my styrofoam up, and this tack glue shouldn't let me do it here tonight too. Just put it down and spread it out. If you get in, now it does have fiberglass in it, for the bonding part. You know what I'm saying? Like they do concrete.
Sure.
But if you got any little fibers, man, all I did was take my lighter after it hardened. I took my lighter down it. It didn't catch a fire. It just burnt all the high hairs. Made it lay down nice, and trial and error. This was my trial place, honestly. The pictures I took with the boat and everything, if that didn't turn out the way I thought it should, in my crazy little mind, it was going to come up, be tore up, and start all over. But I did like how the pictures turned out.
I listened to a podcast a couple years ago, with an interview with the guy who brought that stuff to market in the Model Railroad space a number of years ago with the fusion fiber. And it struck my interest. I love the ground goop that Lou Sassy invented all those years ago. That, like what Jim used, like I use, Mike Conflow. There's a lot of people out there that use it. It's somewhat popular, but it's kind of a, it's not real mainstream like plaster is.
Well, I got this. This is covers 15 to 20 square feet. It's 16 ounces. I bought it from the Choo Choo store. Fibers down there in Mexico.
All right.
Vipers for 20
Vipers.
bucks.
Oh, huh.
Viper
See,
side.
ground goes forever. It's like $25 for a thing of celluclay. But I've used one bag of celluclay on my whole layout, and I have roughly 50 feet of running shelf that's 2 foot deep that is all covered in scenery goop, sometimes as thick as a half inch, covering some spots.
Ooh.
Sometimes that thick, but most of the time it's 1/8 inch or so thick. And I've covered 50 by 2, so roughly 100 square feet, and I've still got some of that celluclay left.
That's good.
I've used a lot of paint. I'm on probably my 4th gallon of paint.
Yeah, that's like, I think the reason is because I painted the some of the styrofoam that I put down, that I knew that it was going to like have rocks and stuff in it. That way, if anything did show, it would kind of mix in. But like I said, this is going to be, I'm not rushing it, man. Y'all seen my last layouts. You all called me the fastest framer ever as far as tearing one down and rebuilding it. Not this one.
Oh, you one night you were on a hangout in a garage with a layout. You tore it down the next day. You were in a bedroom with a layout. I never seen it. That didn't make it done. See, I can't, and then I do the fine scale show with the guys that do that. And Miles is fast as grease lightning at everything he touches, and that's a hillbilly expression for pretty fast. But I'm happy with the craftsmanship that I achieve with the techniques I'm learning. I'm happy with a lot of my results. I'm not afraid to redo things either. I've tore out several sections of the layout, redone them too. So, but I'm pretty happy with the craftsmanship I achieve. But I am not fast. I am not fast by any measure of grease lightning.
Yeah, me neither.
It's just like I get something in my head, and if I don't like it, it's that's like this up here. Sorry if I'm making you sick. That corner right there is going to be a farm. Back in there, that's going to be the old lady's farmhouse. Pond, see it in the box back there, dock, the whole 9 yards. From that point right to here is going to be a road taking you up to go across. Everybody has to have a road. But from that point, let's see if I can do this. It's a 1.3% grade in a 10-foot section. That from that, where you see it starting to lift, all the way up to that point is 10 feet. So there's no real steep climb.
Nah, 1.5% ain't much.
No, considering that my helix is almost 2.1. Well, 2%, just under 2. 1.79.
Hey, Scott.
Almost 3.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Phil put a comment in here. Says Scott's wife said this is the last layout, so you better get it right, Buster.
Amen. That ain't no lie. She told me, she said this is the last layout that I can build or tear down. Now, she didn't say nothing about add-ons.
They are master the loopholes.
She just told me I couldn't tear this one down and rebuild it. Well, I'm right now, this little room right here is, I'd say 12 by 14. But the room that's over there is 26 feet long by 14 feet wide.
Nice.
That's a good sign.
Solid walls. There's no dividers, no windows. That's going to be the add-on.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be the fun part. But like I said, this one here,
When you do, Scott, you're going to be. When you do, you're going to be singing soprano for a month.
You ain't lying there, brother. But they, I took Johnny's advice a little late, but I did do your advice, Johnny.
That's dangerous, but okay.
Well, he told me after I took my heel. Come on, camera. Here, y'all can stare at my belly for a minute.
You have 3 decks of that layout? You have 3?
No, 2. Soon to be 3, yeah. In a future build, I'm gonna add another wrap. Add another 4 wraps to the helix to take me all the way up to the 3rd level, and all the way around the top of this is going to be storage yard. Instead of up underneath, like some guys do, mine's going to be up top.
Yeah.
Mine's backwards. My main line's at the ceiling. My yard's down at normal level.
Well, that's fine. That's perfect because most of your operations would be down in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, but none of us will ever have as big a layout as Robert has, so.
Let's say JD.
Not JD. Sweet dreams. Don't let the back
mic on.
You got to really speak up, JD, if you don't turn your mic on.
Yeah, I got to keep remembering to put that button on. The mute button on the mic.
And this is going to be my road.
But hello, everybody.
Hello, Bubba.
Hello. Hey, JD.
Hey, Ralph.
How are you
doing?
I'm
Busy.
weathering a Canadian Pacific engine.
Oh, nice.
I want to see.
Yeah, I want to see.
Show us. Show us.
Is that wide cab you were working on the other day?
Ooh, look how pretty.
Switch screens. Oh, nice.
It's so clean.
Yeah, well, not so clean. It's been slightly dirtied already.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey Ralph, are you practicing for race 25?
Looks good, dude. I like that color.
I can barely hear what you said, Lloyd.
But are you practicing before getting to my locomotives?
That's right.
Okay.
But I've had a lot of practice with CP units.
So I only have about 25.
And what engine is that?
An ES44 AC.
AC, that is sweet.
Yeah, wide cab, that's what I was thinking. That's
Yeah,
where
it is.
CSX calls them wide cabs.
Yep.
NS guys don't call them, well, they don't buy the same wide cab, so. But CSX would call that a wide cab.
I need to take a piece of cushion and make one of those.
I thought you were going to say something else.
That's what I thought.
You have to let me know after the after show.
Well, I thought it was analogous to a little break.
Use the little railroad engineer's room.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm with, you know.
The one they call
I'm with Bob because I thought the exact same thing.
That P that rolls around, it was rattling.
I'm just watching Ralph's technique here. His hand is pretty steady.
No doubt, I was watching that too.
I think he's got everybody's attention right now. So what are you putting on it? Big products?
Yes. Yes, it's called Dark Streaking Grime.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bought that off of Kathy Millett.
No, actually, she's been using the washes, which I disagree with. The washes
Yeah.
don't give you anything at all.
It just washes away. I mean, on a house and everything, yeah, but how are you with a 3-inch paintbrush in your hand, brother?
My wife calls me to save the day when she's doing painting in the house. I do
He's
all
an
the cutting.
artiste.
I do all the cutting in.
Yeah, that's what I do, all the cutting in, and she does the rolling.
Yeah, Dan BN, man, one knows that Intermountain, Bachman, or BLI?
Or none of the above, right?
Athearn Genesis. This one's an Athearn Genesis.
That's what I was going to guess.
Complete with lock sound.
Yeah.
And I'm an N scaler.
Well, they got them in scale.
Not Athearn Genesis, they don't.
Oh, no, they don't, do they?
No.
Not yet. Hey, if you all are in, I got an announcement to make. I'm going to be a Josh.
Oh, no.
I like Josh's Thomas there. Is that a 3-rail Thomas?
Yeah, it's Lionel's when I was young. I use it as a helper. It's signed the helper return service. It doesn't even get full freight pretty much.
What do you got hooked on the back of it? And what couplers are you using?
They're Lionel couplers. High rail.
Oh, okay.
Not
High rail,
eight.
okay.
They're high rail Lionel couplers. Some of my couplers are MT8, so I'm trying to stay line more. Though just really expensive.
Save that model because you know that has the uniqueness of that white deck on it.
So how's the EMAC coming?
I'm holding off till tomorrow. I need to ask a favor of a couple people. I'm holding the presses for a tribute for Jim.
Yeah, I couldn't. The guy I mainly work with didn't know who the guy that took the picture was, and I won't talk to the rest.
Don't worry about it. It's all done, and so I'm not going with that picture.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no worries. I mean, it doesn't change anything. But I did put a link to the museum in there.
Okay.
On the name itself.
Okay.
So Ralph, after you put that big streak of grab on, how long do you have to let that set up before you have to cut back with the white spirit to take it back off?
20 minutes. Roughly.
Okay.
I can come back right away if I want, but usually it's about 20 minutes I wait.
Yeah. So if you come back right away, it comes off a lot more.
That's right.
More of it comes off. Yeah, yeah.
So you remove that with spirits, right? The access.
Like if I'm doing a panel line, my brush is not small enough to get right into the crack, right? So you overlap on either side of the door.
Right.
Then you come back and take it off the door and leave it in the crack.
Now, is this too thin? Has it been thin with thinners, or is it full thickness?
It comes in the bottle. The washes are much thinner than this.
Yeah.
And it's harder to get a finish, a good finish with the washes than it is with the streak and grind.
Well, the wash of the issue, I guess, would be, correct me if I'm wrong, too light. Can't get that darkness in there without multiple applications.
With multiple layers, you're right.
And it spreads too much.
Yeah.
It goes all over everything.
Well,
not enough pigment.
It's all going to do that. The problem comes when you use acrylic washes. And
yeah,
when you're using acrylic washes, the pigment that's floating around in whatever media is or carrier is holding the pigment and a lot of times it's an alcohol base. It leaves what we call a tide line at the edge of the liquid. So the color wants to go to the edge, and it stops right at the edge of the water bead, and it dries that
rather than
way.
the center. Yeah.
So with mineral spirits, or the mineral based, it on a semi-gloss or a shiny surface, it finds its own level, and you never have that problem, because the mineral spirits tend to spread right out, and just like an oil spot, you drop a drop of oil in your garage, one drop could end up like about 18 inches in diameter,
Right.
and the
Over time, yeah.
darkest part's in the center.
Center, right. Well, just in a few minutes you've been doing this, you can certainly see the details pop out.
Yeah, it starts to come to life, really.
Yeah, it gives it that texture and feeling. It's no longer a model. It's
a work of art.
Well, it becomes more real life, and closer, one step closer to real life.
Well, it becomes a working machine.
Yeah, just the edges, as you go on horizontally and vertically, I've been watching very carefully, and it just makes a huge world of difference.
Nice part about this stuff here, I don't know whether you can see this little louver under the brake wheel. All I have to do is go across the top, and it fills in. It starts to run down the louvers.
Nice. Now, would you ever think of using a pin or a needle to do that instead? Like a surgical needle or something like that?
No, because then I don't have the same control.
How about a toothpick?
If I smash the end of it and make it like a paintbrush, yeah.
And then you might just use a paintbrush.
Exactly.
Well, I've only painted a couple of little people, but I painted them with a toothpick. I smashed a toothpick flat and used it to paint the little dude. And that worked pretty well because I didn't have a paintbrush that was... Honestly, I would need a paintbrush that had a single bristle on it or something.
The wood
what are you all doing in September?
What was that?
I said, what are you all doing in September?
I don't plan that far ahead.
Moving to the private island I buy in August. Let's aim high,
On a personal, and he's going to fly to it on a personal jet.
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was going to take that train that they made.
No, I'm saying I'm going to measure up to Larry Ellison by September somehow. I mean, listen, if we're dreaming, dream big,
Amen. No, but here in West Virginia, it's called the Coal River Model Train Show. It's one of West Virginia's largest train shows, over 100 tables. It is in Madison, West Virginia.
I know where that is.
You can get on Coal River Model Train Show. Coal River Model Railroad Club, and it gives you all the details on how to get here and everything like that.
Which those dates that on?
It is on September 16th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and September 17th from 12 to 5.
Where'd you say that was?
In Madison, West Virginia.
Is that in the United States?
Yes, sir. Where they have to pump in sunshine. I went to it a couple years ago. It used to be in Chapmanville, at the old high school, but where they've gotten so big, so fast, it's something like the one you went to, where y'all met. Them kind of vendors will be there. Good people. good food, good prices.
I can't say any of those things about the NMRA show, except for there's some pretty good people there. At least, I don't know. There might have been a good person or two there.
Well, you were there, right?
Yeah, and Johnny and Bob and Dave. Half our panel was there, but
James was there.
You don't really
Yeah.
like going
yeah,
on
there was good people there. I'm basing with that. The food was questionable.
What, at the show
Well,
or the house?
You did it
At the show.
No, at the show. No, at the
I
house.
say
The food was,
backpedal,
Johnny,
backpedal.
calm down. The food at the house was incredible. The food at that little restaurant was pretty good. We had good food there, just not at the show. There's a mystery meat hot dogs.
Yeah, really.
And
That's all the time.
when it was up here at the when they had the nationals here, I didn't really care for the train show. Though I don't care for the train show though. The actual convention itself with we had with the timetable and train order module layout and we also had the Operation Roadshow and there's also different layouts that you got the layout tours and the going to different people's operating sessions. I think was the best part. And clinics were not bad either. It was the train show was the bad part. I didn't really care for it. I wouldn't spend money on the train show, the actual train show.
You get a lot of good people down here because of, you don't have a lot of money being spent right now in West Virginia because of the economics, coal being down like it is. So everybody tries to pull together at these little shindigs is to help each other out and make a little money. But nobody's there really to make a million, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of redneck hillbillies having fun. At a train show, even.
I imagine if you try to get rich via model railroading, you're probably going to end up an unhappy person anyway. So,
Yeah.
Or a nut house. I know I can make $1 million off of this if somebody would just buy this color.
well, not happening.
Ralph, I got to tell you, I'm just loving it.
That's looking good.
Hey, wait till you see him start taking it off here in a bit. That's where it really comes.
I mean, look at the
No,
grills.
that's
It's
when we
not
turn the
like
cameras
that.
off.
Yeah, his grills look like he's doing magic paint. He just touches it and you see it start growing all the way through there.
Yeah.
Boy, it did highlight them vents good.
Yeah, Ralph's just itching to put his Patreon account up so it won't be free.
Isn't a diesel more easier than a steam engine? Which is more easy, Ralph? Steam or diesel?
With the weather?
Yeah.
It's
Well.
different. I mean, some diesels are probably fairly hard because of color. Steam could be somewhat easier because of
Just black and white.
yeah, but the contours of a steam locomotive make it somewhat difficult too. So
Hey, Johnny, are you presenting Ralph? Because this
Yeah.
should be recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he won't make a video. So somebody's got to do it for him.
Hey, gentlemen, I'll be right back.
you got to go take one of his clinics.
Or just sign up to Train Masters and you can do the clinic online.
Oh, I'm a long-time Trainmaster subscriber.
Me too. I don't know if I watched any Ralph's. Hey, Andy,
Yes, sir.
did you see that I posted in the in the message in the hangout? I posted
Yeah, BNSF Fall River. I watched that video too already too. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's an incredible railroad. I mean, it's huge. So
Yeah. Signal system, help, cool trick with the helper engines, signals, it's all operations. The cool thing is that camera, and that's actually how they do in real life. Is they have to spot the people in the cars.
Yep.
That makes more interesting. I thought about actually having my crews load my cars. So for right now, I just add the loads ahead of time. I've thought about doing what he does, and I know another guy that does it around here. So I don't know.
If I did O scale, I would have an operating loader. In HO scale, the physics are just too difficult to make that work well. You can make it work. People do make it work. It's just very difficult to work.
Yeah, I could do it in no scale, and actually it's pretty easy. I could do it. There's a cheap way you can do it in O or HO.
Oh yeah, you can even unload it. There's a guy doing O scale 2 rail. Got some YouTube videos up, and he has a loader on a part of his layout and an unloader using a shop vac system where the vacuum machine, the vacuum hose is mounted just above the car. And it slowly pulls the car through it. It empties the car. It's impressive.
Yeah,
it works.
Yep, it's what your opinion is, I think, and what it does. So far, I found putting just the fake loads in make it look just. I get more of a better prototype look to it than actually live loading it, in my opinion.
You get more weight in them too.
Yeah, live loading is good. So I don't know. I really haven't decided.
See, coal's actually surprisingly lightweight. So if you use real coal in small quantity, it's actually quite light. So using a fake load, you can put more, actual lead under it and have heavier loads. And I like the quite heavy cars. And then in concert with the 2.6, 2.7% grades makes for a challenging exercise in engineering to
I
train to the top.
I do put the load on top, though I have a small load in the bottom, like a small cover over, just a small load that covers over the all time. It's always in there, and it's always in there. It's I always joke around to everybody. I always say to this is if you actually wanted to rob a train, just come down to my basement because I have hundreds of pennies in the cabooses. I have pennies under the coal loads. You might and quarters and stuff. Just come rob the train downstairs. It might be a lot easier.
Gives a new meaning to pennies from heaven.
Need to use fish sinkers or lead shot or something that's the problem is most of the lead weights we get are not very high density lead. They have too much zinc and other stuff in them, and they're too high in impurities. So getting an actual quality lead is actually a little bit hard to get economically.
Yeah, the lead that I used for the flat cars, that was pretty solid lead, I think. That was really old though, and also I got that for free. It's probably worth a lot of money. Though actually still is probably. Though weights for me, for my box cars because I'm modeling O scale, and HO I totally couldn't do this though. Because the O27 is about almost the size of it's a little bit bigger than a railroad spike. Most of my box cars got a full-size railroad spike in it. And yeah, that's pretty heavy. So still, it gives realistic sense. And I don't have any derailing problems so far.
No argument for me. I massively overweight my cars. And that helps with a couple things. I mean, they track really well. They don't derail as easy. they also couple much more realistically. So instead of when you're going up to couple, instead of pushing the car down the track a little bit without the coupler ever hitching, that car will sit right there and you get a good solid thud when you put the couplers together.
Yep. And though I do have to weigh my engine. Yeah, it still slips and everything. I know, and then I hold it down and it starts going good. I have to weigh it. I gotta figure out how to weigh my 080. So that'll be a project in itself.
There's Duck Tape Railroad spot to the top.
Yeah, Dan, BN man, he made a comment. My late friend had 42 fully loaded coal cars. Each one was 1 pound. Took 3 Proto SD50s to take it up a 2% grade.
Yeah, I've basically designed mine around what a Broadway Limited Y6B will pull. Broadway Limited Y6B will pull about 18 to 20 cars, depending on how free rolling they are, etc. Up around a 2% grade. So as I'm going at around 15 cars up a 2.5. So as I go to the top deck, I got a 2.5% grade, and you're pushing a 25 car trade up. So it requires a Y6 on the front and a Y6 or a Y3 or something on the rear. And it doesn't just require them, but you have to actively operate them correctly or you'll stall.
Yeah,
So my wife texted me. She goes, I'm going to go to sleep. You can keep the train running through the bedroom. I'm like, yes. Bonus.
Well, that's cool. Just don't blow the horn.
Yeah, there's no sound in that one, so that's good.
Well, Ralph, I'll tell you what, I like what that thinner's doing to that red, too.
Thinner's not doing anything to the red.
It looks like it's dulling it down.
I faded it before I started. It was a real bright red before I started.
Right. Looking good. What's your mailing address so we can send our cars to you?
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Shoot. Yeah, they get thrown away.
Ralph, you should tell him that it's on the waiting list.
AJ just made a comment here. Josh talked about how he loaded his cars. He said, ER doctor, how did you get a railroad spike through your foot, Josh? I dropped my toy train on my foot.
Wouldn't be first injury caused by model railroading or other railroad related stuff like a the lever that it's on a caboose that kind of sets the handbrake to different directions, kind of a locking mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I was playing with it. I was at a kind of like park museum and a caboose on display. And I was showing Gavin showing a friend of mine how to operate a caboose, how that operates, and it locked up on me and then slammed down on my finger and almost lost my finger.
Hate when that happens.
It's sort of like, hey, watch this, hold my beer.
Yeah.
My
Coke.
Diet Pepsi.
Hey, y'all, watch this. Famous last words. Well, you've been busy, Lloyd. That looks good. I hadn't seen that since it was just the rock work and white stuff.
No, today I did static grass on the top part.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, I like doing it too.
So Ralph, that static applicator really works.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like that, eh?
Yep. I got all my stuff from Scenic Express today.
What size grass did you use?
For the top part, 4 and 6 millimeter.
I can't find 4. Nobody around here has 4.
No, well, I ordered directly from Scenic Express.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of doing the same, but I thought I visited our local hobby shops, and nobody seems to have it.
Yeah, there's this new thing called the internet. It's incredible for model railroading. But
Well, I like.
I say that to somebody who's talking to me on an internet broadcast, but yes.
I like to keep
You know,
brick and mortar shops in business because they served us for how long?
I agree.
Here we are turning our backs to them.
Oh no! If I had a local hobby shop, I would do business with them. And every time I visit out of town, I go visit a local hobby shop and spend money. I just don't have one.
yeah, we don't have nothing like that around here.
No.
The closest one to me is in Tays Valley, which is probably an hour and a half drive one way.
Yeah. Louisville, for me, it's an hour and a half, and it's mostly a Lionel shop. So.
Oh, this is just like a
Well,
mom and
add
pop.
2 more hours to it, Andy. You know where to go.
I do know where some good ones are. Yes, sir. That's why I always try to. That's why every time I'm down to John's Neck of the Woods, I go to. I always call it his hobby shop, but I go to Johnny's hobby shop. Every time I'm down to that neck of the woods, because it's a really good hobby shop anyway. But I always go down there and buy a little bit of stuff.
I bought a couple things online from them.
I mean, I miss brick and mortar hobby shops. There's, I'm glad we have the internet for a lot of things, but I miss them being good brick and mortar hobby shops around, but they're rare.
Oh, no doubt. Remember when you used to be able to go into your local drugstore and pick out any kind of model car that you wanted to build when you was a kid?
Yep.
You know, and now it's like they're few and far between.
No, a local pharmacy that sells anything, really?
Yeah, no doubt. Besides
Walgreens or something.
Right,
The only
Rite
thing that sells
Aid.
anything, but not even models.
No.
They don't sell
But
that kind of
the old days, man, you used to be able to go into your local drugstore and pick out 72 Nova, 68 Camaro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some of them used to carry the old HO train sets.
Oh, the little drugstore was the awesome place. I mean, the one in downtown, in my hometown, QRS, I think, if I remember. Pretty sure it's QRS. And you can go there after school, get a sandwich, and had a little diner. You could, it was like a pop stand or an ice cream stand or some kind of thing inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, around here, we actually still have a pharmacy that has soda fountain. Though, other than that, they do have a little bit of train display. Though you won't buy any trains because those are on display. Though, so if you go outside town, we have another towns or some different stuff. Though, you won't find model train stuff. Though, I know discount drug mart saves you. They're around. Has some model cars. Sorry.
Nice plug.
I used to. My school actually sends me. Our school sends different kids to get different job experience and different things. But one of my locations used to be discount drug mart. Yeah.
I
They didn't
got a
make you
couple
sing
of
that, did
comments. Got a question and a comment. Andy, Tim said ABC Hobbycraft in Evansville. Dan B. Inman has a question. He's hand laying code 55 in N scale.
Good luck.
Is it easier to drill a hole to get the spike in or just use epoxy?
I use epoxy breaks down over time. So, it breaks down with expansion and contraction. I use contact cement diluted with MEK. Let's see if I got some out here. Anyway, buy some DAP contact cement. There's a better brand. I have to look it up here in a second. That's used by shoe people. shoe repairman, but it's harder to keep because contact cement goes bad. You get about 6 months or something, and it goes bad. So I just buy the DAP contact cement from Lowe's or Walmart, probably even, and then you could feed it with acetone, but it gets a little pulpy, so you'll have to not use the thick spots. Or if you'll go buy a gallon of MEK for $20 or whatever from Home Depot or Lowe's, MEK will go forever and a day diluting that contact cement into a thin paste. And then also MEK makes a really good plastics adhesive for doing, uh, Walthers or whoever styrene plastic kits. MEK is the adhesive that I use for them as well. So, and I've got a gallon jug, so I think it will outlast me. And then I just put a little bit of contact cement on the bottom of the rail, and put a little dots of contact cement on the ties or tie plates in my case, and then let it set for about 15 minutes. And then take a dry clean soldering iron, hot, obviously, and drop the rail down on it. What I do is take 2 pins and stick them like this at a couple spots down the line, and lay the rail right on top of that little cribbing that I built holding the rail up. Then I pull a few of them and set the rail down, and then put that soldering iron on it, and in a few seconds it'll crackle a little bit, and it's set up that fast. And then just move down, pulling those pins, set the rail down, hit it with soldering iron. I can lay a lot of rail really fast with the contact cement method. Although it doesn't hurt to spike, especially around turnouts, where on the outsides of where the points make closure, they put a lot of pressure on it. And there's a few spots in curves where you may need a few spikes, or around rail joints or places like that. Especially at N-scale, and especially with Code 55 rail, you probably ought to look at the spikes from the Proto87.com store. Proto87 store sells these really small wire spikes that are doggone difficult to deal with, but they're extremely small with extremely small heads, and they won't hurt the appearance or the performance of the track. And a lot of people in N-scale HOS that are using those spikes, and I use hemostats to put them in with.
Now Miles had that gun that he loaned Troy that shot the nails, shot the spikes.
Yeah.
And
KD Spiker. It's basically a staple gun that the top of the staple gets cut by the rail.
They don't make it.
No, they still make the heads for it, and they still make the spikes for it, but they don't make the actual spiker. But they're still available on eBay, and they are pretty good in HO or larger scales. However, they put a really large spike head in. Like they look like microengineering spikes, which have a grossly oversized spike head. Of all the spike heads out there, microengineering is some of the largest ones. I love microengineering rail. I love their flex track and their turnouts. Even if you're using commercial track, I like microengineering components really well. But their spikes I have to cut the spike heads off a little bit. Whereas the Walther spikes are a nice compromise between the finickiness of the Proto 87 spikes and the way too oversized spikes for microengineering. The Walther spikes are a little better. Proto 87 spikes are just in general, they're just better. But you've got to use a pair of needle nose pliers. And if you're going to spike rail, find a pair of needle nose pliers that you can really get comfortable with, because you're going to spend some quality time with those pliers.
Actually, Micromark makes a special plier that has grooves cut into it.
Yeah.
I used to cut those. Hold the spike.
Yeah, we used to have to cut them. I'd take a pair of needle nose pliers and take a little bit of a hacksaw blade and cut that little groove in a pair of pliers.
Yeah, got a comment here from Ron down there in Australia. How you doing, Ron? I've been thinking of taking my 2x150 foot Pratt truss bridges and scratch building them into one big long one, or would it look too big?
No, you have to have a pier in the middle, though.
I watched a video. Let me see if I can find it and post it. I watched a video of a man that had a 19-foot double rail bridge that was expanded over top.
You know the one that Microengineering makes, the steel girder with the towers, the steel towers?
Yeah, steel trestle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is 8 feet long.
He come on, work with me.
Well,
Google.
while you're thinking about that, for whatever reason, there is a little technical difficulty tonight with the streaming of the show. It's not real bad, but yes, you will lose your feed for a second or two. But if you go down to the bottom of the viewer, on the going towards the left, where the pause button is, you'll see a button that says live. If that is not red, click on it, and that should bring you back to the real timeline to get the show going again. So
That gets you back current with it live. If you're having a lot of buffer issues, it helps pull yourself back about 5 seconds, so your computer's not fighting so hard to keep it live.
Yeah.
Sometimes 30 seconds if you got a really slow connection.
Absolutely. And turn the quality down a little bit, but give it 30 seconds, it gives it a little chance to buffer a little bit.
Yeah, I'm getting dropped frames here. And
how many?
2.7%.
Ooh.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, but OBS has still got me in the green.
Yeah,
and
it's
YouTube's got me in the green too. I've seen on my viewer, he'll do the circles for about a second and then they quit.
Well, you still got a viable stream till at least 5, maybe even up over to 10% stream. It's still viable. It'll just drop some frames for people. No big deal.
I'm not really seeing anything on my end on the YouTube channels. Seems like everything's fine here.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I got a fast connection too. So.
Okay.
Well, we got those storms coming across the top of the U.S. too, so.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, I got some storms around here too. And,
yeah.
But haven't heard anything yet major. I may lose power. You never know.
You guys can have all the storms there are. I got no interest in that stuff.
Yeah, we've had some come rock our way, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need no more. We're bad for tornadoes out here anymore where I am. I mean, I've seen more tornadoes in the few years I've lived here than in all of my life.
That's true.
There's a lot of tornadoes anymore. Well, I heard something. This is very off model railroading. But recently, that the old adage about Oklahoma being the tornado capital or tornado alley, that's not true anymore. Oklahoma doesn't have that many tornadoes anymore. It's it's over through Arkansas and Tennessee and Western Kentucky where I am and stuff.
Alabama, Mississippi are hitting it.
Yeah. Oklahoma is now the earthquake capital of the United States. There's more earthquakes in Oklahoma than all the rest of the country combined. Several thousand earthquakes last year.
Good reason for it.
There is a reason for it.
We won't go into that.
No. That's too touchy, but it's cut and dry what it is.
Let them know on the panel that I just posted a link. They'll have to put the WWT in it.
What's a T?
The HTTP.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
In the front of it because YouTube won't let us do it.
No.
But I just put a link in our chat. This is that 19-foot bridge that the dude had made. He said it cost $125 a foot to have this train made. So you do the math.
Is it made out of brass or something?
No, it is actually a stainless steel bridge.
Wow.
Yep, it's Eric Siegel. It's over his yard. It's his upper loop. Drag is another looper. So,
Oh yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen
That
Eric.
thing is monster, and it looks outstanding.
Yeah,
But that guy was asking about that bridge, and that brought it up to give him some kind of proportion of what it would look like.
Well, he did the salt. He did a salt weathering technique on this that I was not generally a huge fan of, but it really did. He did a good job.
He did. I mean, kudos to him. He did it. But I seen that today, and I thought, my goodness, sakes alive. That's over $2,000 to have that bridge made.
Yeah, well, I mean, he just.
But he did it over years. He did it over years. Yeah, it's 3-rail.
More money than brains.
He did it over a period of years to take the bite, he said, out of the.
The O-scale's pretty doggone heavy stuff and all that, but you can do it with micro engine. I've got to build a few steel trestles on my layout. One of mine has to be about 5 foot, and a couple more of them, one about 2, one like 3 foot. But the micro engineering parts will do the job, and I may end up with, $100 each or something in them, give or take. Maybe 150 in the big one. We need to weather that brown one. I sure like that green color on it, like Ron Klaus did that bridge on his layout, using the microengineering components like I'm talking about, like I'm going to use for mine, just like Ron Klaus's, but that color he used on his, I just love. I can't do that because on my railroad, they painted them all. Norfolk Western painted everything black. Like, everything that will hold steel, they painted it black. So, they're all black.
Eric's is also built out of real stainless steel, too. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
said Eric's is actually that bridge is actually the one that Scott showed is actually made out of real stainless steel.
Yeah, it's actually stainless steel that this dude had made.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he said, like, down where his turntable is, he had to set it himself, but he gave his buddy the measurements where his main trestles would be and had them put on. I mean, but the weathering this dude did on this bridge is just outstanding.
But it doesn't have any rivets on it even. It's all smooth. There's no rivet detail or anything.
Because it's a modern
do that
bridge.
with
It's a modern bridge. You don't rivet a modern bridge.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. I design bridges for a living. You don't rivet bridges anymore. You bolt them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Rivet, bolts. It doesn't have any of those. It's a completely smooth.
You can't tell the difference. Give me a break.
Yeah, rivet or bolt, you can't tell the difference, but you tell me an O scale that you can't see the fact that there's no rivets there. Or bolts.
Is it like a carriage bolt?
Well, some places
I mean, he could probably come back in and put plates on
projects. What's that?
But
Scott?
that gives that gentleman some kind of dimension on what a large bridge would look like if it's done right.
This looks
The only
he's talking.
The only place in a modern bridge like that, the only place you'd have bolting is where things are coming in onto the girder, or if it's spliced.
Oh, it'd all be welded.
Yeah, like all your stiffener plates would be welded because they'd be done in the shop.
Sure. I would buy that. But none of the towers have like those gusset plates on them and stuff. Those should have rivets or bolts on them, probably.
That's because he used the lattice. They should have bolts to them. I agree there because it's a lattice. It's a lattice type.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't care about those details, whatever. But in O scale of all things, I mean, in my opinion, the big benefit to the size and all the consequences and cost of O scale is the amount of detail you could see, but to not
Well,
put that
it's like O scale. You can. Well, the way I think of it is Z scale, very little detailing. N scale, a little more detailing. HO, a little bit more. O scale, you better be nuts on the money with your detailing because it's going to show.
Yeah, the problem with the benefit to O scale is that you can see all the detail. The consequence of O scale is you have to do all the detail.
Now, what is Cheryl running? Are they doing O scale 3-rail?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's doing it. That one night she was on weathering her track. She's doing a fine job on her layout for being a big rail.
Yeah, you can do okay with O scale, even with 3-rail if you hide it correctly and use good quality track. Like Eric here is probably using Ross or Gargraves or something. It's
Atlas.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's using Atlas, and then he's got Atlas switches and Ross switches.
No kidding.
That's what kind of flipped me out is he spent that kind of money on the bridge. I'd have hand laid that.
I think a lot of O-scalers are crazy sometimes with the cost of everything.
I love O scale. My absolute favorite scale is O scale. No question about it. Quarter inch to the foot.
Talking about 2-rail.
I like 2-rail. Yes, sir. I like Proto 48. Is what I like.
The problem with 2-rail is it can't go around a surface curves in the space of 3-rail can.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Josh.
Why?
Are you running DCC?
No, not. I'm thinking about taking all my AC components out of these Lionels and put DCC. Though my HO layout, once I get back to building it, I'm going to take all my DC stuff out and put DCC. Why?
Well, here we go. It's laying right here in front of me. I had to spin my mouse. My headphones went dead, so I have to sit down now. Are you at your monitor, dude?
Yeah, I'm at my monitor.
A buddy of mine gave me this. Okay. I couldn't figure out what it was.
It's empty. It looks like
it is a 16. Let me read on top here so I don't get it wrong. It is a Superior Power Productive, Moundsville, New York. It has 14 volts DC and 16 volts AC. This is the kind of transformers you all use, ain't it?
No, that's probably Tyco or something. Is it Tyco, HO?
Well, you can't run 16 volts in HO.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, generally accepted standard is 14 or 13.8, whatever.
13.8, yeah.
Yeah, but at the time Tyco was out, there probably wasn't a standard.
But I got another one somewhere around here.
Wow.
That is for O scale 2-rail. That was also gave to me.
O scale 2-rail.
Yeah, back in the olden days.
I love 2-rail O scale. I don't think there's a better scale out there in the world.
But
easy. There's a lot of benefits to O scale, but I'm still watching Eric's video here. Watch those big modern AC 4400 wide cabs come cruising through there with exhaust fuming with smoke generators under them with the exhaust.
That is so tight, man. The way he's got that set up.
I said, wow. So that's cool. I didn't know that.
I think those are MTH actually, and I think I like 2-rail better than 3-rail. My opinion. I've been to the Youngstown RR Club's 2-rail layout, and I like the 2-rail stuff. I also like the 3-rail stuff, though it is still expensive.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, even I just recently I go through these wild hairs every now and then, and I'm following some stuff on eBay for an S scale. I really like S scale too. S scale is a really good scale.
Yeah,
An S scale C&O H6 2662 locomotive, $1,700. I was curious what it was going to go for. $1,700. So in S scale, I would have to spend just shy of $2,000 a locomotive.
yeah, that's same thing here with O scale and S scale too. I think actually S scale is a better. I think if there was more product outline and there was some stuff that probably could have been changed. S scale could have been like HO now it is.
Oh, I think the middle scales were the best scales. Like TT. If you were going to be in a small scale, TT is a better scale. 1 to 120 is better than 1 to 160, in my opinion. And in comparison to the HO scale, S scale, which is 3/16 of an inch to a foot, that's a really good scale to work with. And you could use a regular ruler to build scale structures with it. You don't have to have a special ruler. Whereas
S scale, I thought S scale was 1/64th.
it's 1/64th, which is 3/16 of an inch to a foot. But in HO scale, we don't have any easy math to translate it. In HO scale, we have 3.5 millimeters to a foot. But that's the closest. We don't have any other math that aligns on the scale.
Yeah, I think S scale was a better scale.
Or even if we had used the European standard for HO, the 00 scale, which is 1 to 96, 1 to 76, something like that. It's 4 millimeters to a foot, and the math is better.
Yeah, I love HO, and I also been to some SK layouts. And I think S or HO would have been better than O scale, my opinion. And choose.
To me, HO is a compromise. I make a compromise in choosing HO, but I had a 15 by 15 room. I couldn't do O 2 rail. That's a circle. I mean, it's not even an oval. It's a circle.
Okay, HO 1 in 87, 00 is 1 in 76, S is 164.
Yeah, 1 to 64 or 3/16 of an inch to a foot, or quarter inch scale, or O scale, which is commonly called quarter inch scale.
148.
It's a quarter inch to a foot. Yep. And British is 1 to 43, which is a weird scale. And it's the whole reason that our track work is off in O scale. If you buy O scale 2 rail track and equipment, it's actually 5 foot between the rails instead of 4'8". So the scale that I actually like is what they commonly call Proto 48, which has properly gauged track work. 4 foot 8.5 inches between the rails instead of the 5 foot.
Yeah, and there was a nickel plate layout that was at the Nationals. I think they went last year, though. They definitely went when we did the Cleveland. Now it's Pro 48.
Yeah, that 8x16 portable layout that those Pro 48 guys take to the shows. Yep.
Yeah, I think 2 rail is more awesome than 3 rail, my opinion. And if I had bigger space and a lot more money, I would do 2 rail. If I had less money, if I had the same space or any bigger space and still the same money, HO.
I guess it's not a bad compromise if it wasn't for the cost of locomotives. That's the only thing. Like, I've looked at some of the S scale helper showcase models. They make a lot of stuff like 2-bay hoppers, box cars and stuff, and you could get a lot of that rolling stock for $30 a car, which is what I'm paying at HO scale for a car.
You can get O scale for $25, $30, depending on how much detail you want.
Yep.
So for a locomotive, you're going to at least spend $100 on it. And more.
Josh, your screen sharing.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at the scale ruler. That's why.
I can't buy a locomotive even at HO scale for $100. I mean, cheapest locomotive I see at HO scale that's what I want. It's 350, 400, and the MSRP on them is more like 600.
Yeah,
But it's still a big jump to go to O scale 2 rail or S scale, where you're talking about, O scale 2 rail locomotive, like a big steam locomotive that would cost me 400 at HO scale, is going for 2400 at O scale.
how much blue box costs?
And then I still, well, yeah, I don't, not much into the blue box stuff, but then you've got to, but also if I buy that $2,400 locomotive at O scale, I've got to send that off to a fab shop that can turn it into Proto 48 for me, which is another $500. And then I've got decoders and all that other stuff. So you're going to have the cost of I've owned quite a few automobiles that didn't cost as much as a locomotive would cost me at O scale.
Yep, that's why HO is really the perfect hit spot. And if you want to go any further, your price just skyrockets. And HO is not that bad. N scale is just too small. It's just
Well, I tell you what, we're going to give Josh a break here. How's that mountain coming there, Bob?
It's going a little slow, but it's one piece at a time. Working on this door. Trying to get all the little mountain kind of seam pieces in there to cover up cracks and so forth. And then I'm going to put in a some shaper sheet hanging down the front, and in between this little crevice here where all the water's going to run, the waterfall will just come down and go through that little area there and have a bridge go across right up in here. So it's coming along.
So that section opens like you had talked about.
Yeah. Door opens just like that.
Yep.
To a certain point, and then put something to keep it from moving, so I can take a look inside, and got to figure out a few challenges, but so far so good.
Is that your control panel? How you go to the edge?
Yeah, it's right down here.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
Oh, that little water tower is so cute.
Yeah, it works. I'm not gonna turn it on right now. It's a little loud. Wish there was a volume control on it.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that there's not. I've seen them a few times at the shows in person, especially at HO scale. Looked at them. I've ended up building my own, but and I'm going to do the same thing. It'd been a lot easier just buy them, but I wanted control.
Yeah, I thought about taking it apart and putting a little potentiometer. That's the word.
Yeah, what are those?
On the speaker.
Sure.
So, but
put a resistor and line or resistor down to the ground and pull it up a little bit, to cut it in half.
Yeah, something.
Yep. I mean, that can't be that hard to do. And honestly, I bet if you Google it and look it up, I'm sure some people have done it already anyway. Because...
Well, it comes with a schematic that tells you how to take it apart. I mean, the top comes off, but you got to kind of get around the ladder and the pieces are glued on there. But other than that, you can probably pull it apart pretty easily.
Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna run.
Brother, you have a good night. Be careful.
Glad you got to see me.
Yeah, don't get too tired.
See you, JD.
Try not to.
Good talk.
Ralph, had a lot of fun watching you work on that engine.
That thing's coming out beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
JD.
Yeah.
You still want me to do that after the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me about 10 minutes. Give me about 10 minutes.
All right. Thanks, bud.
All right.
Take care, guys. Good night.
Later.
Bye.
Good night.
Are you using that same stuff, Ralph? Is that the same big stuff that you're putting in those grills?
Yep.
Now, what is that stuff called?
Hang on.
Big ammo, dark streaky drive.
Okay, thank you.
I got a few different variants of it. Big has a really big, I mean, considering what they are, they have a pretty doggone big catalog of products. Have you tried their powders? I know you're not a huge powders fan, but
No, I'm not. I'm not a chalk fan. Not
I'm not a
kind.
chalk fan either. I'm a powders fan.
Well, there's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Pastels are chalks.
Oh yeah, I like the AIM stuff just like you do. I just haven't tried the big stuff.
God, I love this tacky glue.
Have you tried the spray version of
Yes.
it?
I got a can of it in the other room.
Good stuff. A lot better. I mean, Super 77 is, legitimately stronger, but
For what we use it for?
I agree.
Perfect.
Absolutely. I couldn't be happier. And I've tried every one of them. Elmer's, Loctite. I mean, you name it. I've tried every brand of it. And the I-Lades is the best.
And you know what's weird is, it gives you time to, I put some models together with this stuff. Just to try it.
Yeah. It's got a bit of a thickness to it. So,
Well, yeah, you use a paintbrush.
Yep.
And to put it on your edges and stuff, but
don't dilute though. It just
no.
I don't know how to thin it down anyway.
I have not. Well, this is going to be. Ow. Whoa! Don't lose the windshield windows. This is going to be the old lady's. Oh, come on, camera. Ding! We have a house. This is going to be the wife's farmhouse.
Is that the Walthers or Woodland Scenics wood?
No, this is actually Cornerstone. No. Who's the other one that makes cheap models?
DPM.
It's called Grandma's House.
Yeah. I think that's the same wood that
Grandma's house?
that Phil.
Yeah.
Bachman.
No, it ain't Bachman.
Does that have the little shadow boxes for the lights and stuff?
No.
Okay.
Lifelike.
MTH.
Model Power.
Lifelike.
Model Power.
What do I
Model
win?
Power. Thank you. As soon as you said it, I found this thing on it.
Yeah.
But I made it to where, I've got the
A whole upstairs for a railroad room. Yep.
I wallpapered that wall.
Oh yeah.
The big fish.
What'd you use? Oh, I see.
Actually, I went online and printed off some fish and cut just one little section out of it, and put it together, put it on that wall. Well, actually, that looked pretty good because I've got the upstairs wired for lights. I've got a square LED right at my fingertip, and I didn't think it'd be bright enough, but I'll tell you what, that little thing lights that whole top.
Oh, you have to dim them down like a massive amount.
Yeah.
I used the 0402 smallest LEDs, you could get within reason, and I put a whole bunch of them. This one structure I put like 9 lights in, but I sure had to dim them down a lot.
I mean, I still got front steps to do here, front steps to do here. She goes, my post ain't straight. Well, if I can get it, hold it straight.
Oh, sounds like a personal problem.
And I said, sweetheart, this is an old farmhouse. You show me an 80-year-old farmhouse that the front porch posts are straight.
Or that the house is standing straight.
Yeah, exactly, you know. She goes,
Yeah,
well, I want it to look brand new. I said, well, sweetheart, you're going to have to go find yourself a new home. I did. I told her flat out, I said, this is going to be, you know, it's going to be a farmhouse, yeah. But it's going to be 80, 90-year-old homestead. You know, and I got a picture in my head on how I want to do it.
That might be dangerous.
Yo, very much so, brother. God, you ain't lying. I got the that I ain't never tried these people out before. Let me move that. Much better. Not for you guys, but for me. I ain't never tried these guys, but I'm gonna try it. It's Bush.
Yeah.
Their pawn. I'm gonna put that excuse me, on her layout, well, in front of the house, you know, with the little
dog
deck.
Yeah, I like Bush products. I love Bush products. They're some of my favorite German stuff.
And then I've got over half of them painted. The little tiny corn stalks like Phil did.
Oh yeah, the brass ones?
Oh my God. Hey, they're beautiful.
Bush
but I'll
now
tell you,
Bush now makes them already finished.
Yeah. I found that out after Mama got them for me.
Yeah, and Bluefield Shops was making them, and I think they dropped that line. But the Bluefield Shops ones were plastic and pretty economical. They looked pretty good. Looked pretty good.
Not bad, you know, for like a distant, like Phil did.
Yeah, I don't know whose he used. I seen somebody make them out of something that looked pretty good, out of some kind of, you know, rope.
Well, he had his was plastic, and you had to turn them and form them.
Yeah.
If you wanted the corn to look yellow, you had to paint it.
He's got a wife who will sit down and paint for him, so they can.
He's got a keeper.
Yeah, yeah.
But all in all, you know, it's just little stuff like that that adds to a scenery. You know, my daughter got me a, you know, the little piles of scrap cars.
Yep, the resin.
You know, all that. Yeah, thank you. All that little tiny stuff. I mean, there's a lot of cleaning. If you want it to look good, there's a lot of cleaning. But that's the stuff that makes the layout. Like I said, anybody can put a train together. To put a train together that looks good and runs right is two different things.
Well, I say that anybody could buy their way to a model railroad, but I mean, if you're just going to buy it all, that's not that hard. But if you want to build it and create it and it be your artistry, then it's not that everybody can't do it, but most people won't put the time in to build the skill.
You know, that's like you remember my good buddy Teddy. He asked me, he says, Scott, where do you get the ideas that you come up with? I mean, and I tell him, I said, dude, I says, there's one thing that you will never be without, and that's your imagination.
Or watermelon and pizza.
use your imagination. What you think it should look like, build it.
And
if it don't come out, do like we all have.
And tell him you just got to keep doing this. Get as much done as you can before the shrink puts you on medication that stops that.
Amen.
That's one thing I can't imagine not having is an imagination.
Exactly. You know, and it's like people say, well, I can't do this. I can't do that. Well, there's only two people that can't do something. They're dead or they just don't want to.
Well, they said they can't. You set yourself up for it. You set
forgot how to
yourself
play.
up by saying you can't. Go at it. And man, there's meaty things I've took on that it's taken me 2, 3, 4 times that I've got frustrated with, I've cussed, and I've put to the side and come back to, but I've mostly been successful. Not on my first try, but.
Well, it's like, yeah, that looked good. He asked me, Teddy asked me, he says, man, he says, your river is 5 inches wide. I said, yeah. And he goes, isn't that kind of wide for a river? I said, well, Teddy, I said, by the time that I'm done with it and everything, I says, it's only going to be a stream. He goes, what do you mean? I says, well, you got to 5 inches is 36 feet wide.
Yeah,
that's what I was doing.
Say it's about 40 feet, so
definitely not a river.
Exactly, that's not a river. That's an ocean. Around here. But I figured this way: when you add in all your little debris and styrofoam and stuff like that you want,
cattails,
exactly. You know, the trees that are laying in the down across the creek. If you don't know what a creek looks like, Google. Walk out in your backyard. That's the biggest inspiring you can get is your backyard.
Well, photos are wonderful for weathering equipment, doing what Ralph's doing right there. You have to do it from photos.
Right.
I'm not saying there's not a value in going out and seeing it in person. There is. But when it comes to scenery, it's very hard to do that just off a photo. You need to, to somewhat get your hands dirty in a way. You got to get out there and see it because there's distance and perspective and texture, and there's things that are lost in a photo. You at least have to watch videos or something, some way to give you a better capture of the perspective.
Well, this ought to sound familiar to you, Andy. Dan being, man, I have to build a 30-foot by 100-foot station. That will take me a good year to do.
Sure.
All off of only 2 existing photos of it.
That's what I got too. 2 photos of my depot. 2. Thankfully, there's one from each short side, and I can see down the long side, but I have no idea what the back side, the city side, which on my layout is the back side of the depot. I have no idea what that looks like. I cannot find a picture of it.
Got to make it up.
Yeah. I mean, and as prototype as you want to be, I've said there's no such thing as a freelance model railroader. Not really. Not unless you're building your own locomotives, and all this stuff. You're still building a layout that runs prototype equipment through whatever you do. So it's still proto-freelance. And there's no such thing as a prototype modeler. We can't do it to size or scale. And if any of us do historical stuff like I do, you're making educated guesses about stuff, and sometimes it's less educated. So we're all in the middle. Everybody wants to exclude, you're freelance or prototype's too much for me. We're all in the middle. We're just all, how far toward the crazy side of the spectrum are you? Toward the prototype, crazy side are you?
Exactly. How far do you want to push that issue of being identical one-on-one?
And I push mine pretty far, but I'm in a 15 by 15 room, so
there are a tremendous number of compromises that are an absolute necessity.
Yep.
And I make peace with it. It's fine. I now say that I'm going after a how did I say that? It's like an approximation of it, or a, you know, I want you to see the pictures of the prototype and see my model and say, oh yeah, that's that. I get that. Or have the photo posted on the diorama and say, yeah, that's pretty good. That's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Now see where you're going for that kind of an image. I'm doing the total opposite.
But they're not that far apart.
No, they're not. You know, there has to be some starting point that you have to, a starting point with a picture in your mind or on Google, whatever, that made you want to go that route.
Sure.
You know, somewhere in your life that, you know, it's like, well, I remember that. Let's see if I can do that.
Yep, something you fell in love with about it. And I've said that in my little monthly eBay column a few times. Find the vision. What is it about it? What is it in the world or about railroading that you love? And do some semblance of recreation of that, even if it's not prototypical, whatever, you know. But photos are your friend.
Hey, Dan BN Man said he could post links if anyone wants to give him ideas on how to build the roof of it. And
I'm
we're
all
going to have
about
to start. We got about 3 minutes,
Home
so
Depot.
we'll have to start winding down.
You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and they can give you the material list.
Okay.
I love you, brother.
Yeah, we didn't ask him what scale he was building.
Yeah,
If he was building a full size building.
Sounds like 1-to-1 to me.
Yeah.
And that would be awesome to have that much property to do a layout full scale.
Yeah.
I mean, you would need a Ford Motor Factory to recreate a short line.
Oh yeah, that would be so tight though to own your own engine.
Oh, you mean like, yeah, wood to wood, yeah.
I mean, of course we do own all of our own engines that we play here with, you know, and that's like the wife said. She goes, you all on this YouTube Model Builders are going through your second
Childhood.
No. What do men do our age?
Oh.
Midlife crisis.
Midnight crisis, yeah. I said, well, at least we're not going out and buying a Porsche or a Vet or anything like that. We're building something that we can hand down to our kids.
Yeah, chase a 21-year-old. So yeah, I'll take it. I think
I just bought a Vet today.
Oh, congrats.
Oh, man.
All plastic.
Right. Yeah, I got it at the dollar store.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's my dad's mother, my grandmother, promised him for all of his childhood that she was going to buy him a convertible for his 16th birthday. And she totally bought him a convertible for his 16th birthday. It was Matchbox, but he totally got a convertible for his 16th birthday.
That's outstanding.
And
What about my
insurance is free.
sister's kid? And my sister's kid. When my sister's having their new house built, Bill was a good friend of the family. He always dreamed of buying a Porsche. So the kids bought him a Porsche and got the shipping container and put the Porsche in it and wrapped it up in Christmas paper. And a truck delivered this big shipping container to his front yard and lowered it there. We can't say Merry Christmas, here's your Porsche. It took him an hour to get the paper off it. Mounted it up there, this tiny little plastic Porsche, super good in the middle of the container.
Oh, God.
Goodness sakes.
It must cost them a couple $100 for the shipping crate, the shipping container, but local fish factory.
I was thinking you could have put a deposit on something for the price of the shipping container, but that's not that much.
All right, we've reached the 2-hour mark, so it's time to wind this one down. These guys over here in the chat been talking about you guys don't want to pay the fuel bill on a SD45 or GG1 electric bill.
No, I don't think we do.
No, that's when you find your next door neighbor that has a semi and he keeps running out of fuel every night he comes home. You do that a couple times a month and you can run your train for about a half hour.
Well, I mean, they talk about. I watched something recently. I've been fascinated with the idea of building a throttle that's more like a steam backhead that speaks DCC. So I've been watching some videos on how to run a steam locomotive in detail, and they run 6 gallons of oil on like the 844 or UP's 844. They run 6 gallons of oil per mile.
Wow.
6 gallons per mile.
Alrighty, well, we're going to wind this one on down. A lot of them are already starting to drop out in the chat, so let's see. I thought I saw something here.
Quitters.
Okay.
Quitters.
Leave it to Andy.
They'll never hear that because they
No,
left.
that's why I can say it. Yeah.
Alrighty, just want to say go to YouTubeModelBuilders.com and there you can check the schedules for the Tuesday, Wednesday shows. Those shows are at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. Thursday and the Saturday show are 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern time. We do have a Saturday live show this coming Saturday in 2 days. So don't want to miss that. That's with Big Bill and his all-time favorite sidekick, Barry. You know they always have a good show. Also, while you're at YouTubeModelBuilders.com, be sure and click on the e-mag. That will be coming out here very, very soon. Sign up for an email notification so you'll be notified when it comes out. JD and his team do a great job on that magazine. One good thing about it is, besides all the articles that they have in there, is the magazine is free. Yeah, absolutely free. So,
love free.
Yeah. Also, got some really good people writing articles in there too. It's a community magazine. And just to end it on one last note, we lost Jim in Michigan today. I want to say rest in peace, Jim. Have a good life. And we'll see you later. So with that said, y'all have a good night. We'll see you Saturday night at the live show, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Everyone have a good night.
Night, John.
Good night, brother.